welcome to the Honest Wrestling Review Network, home of the Triple Crown Wrestling Review and the HWR Triple Crown Retrospective. On the Wrestling Review show, the Triple Crown will cover the latest show content for the week, latest news, and rumors in the wrestling industry. During the retrospective show, we will be recapping and recovering significant events in wrestling history. Hopefully you enjoyed today's show, and thank you very much for listening. Hello and welcome back to the Honest Wrestling Review, Triple Crown Wrestling Review, and yes, I mixed both names again. Sue me. With Larry, Chris, and Steve. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing wonderful, bro. How you doing?
I'm dirty from softball because I haven't even got a shower yet, but, you know, other than that, just fine.
Keep complaining, Sid.
I'm doing great. Glad that my TikTok prediction came through.
Chris is sitting there like, I'm just here for the comments. I'm just here for the fighting between Steve and Larry.
He's that Michael Jackson meme with the popcorn.
No, it's not Michael Jackson. He's not the Michael Jackson. That's too controlled. He's the Big E popcorn, just bouncing up and down.
Next thing he starts getting pancakes flung at him.
Yep. Then I just change subject and say, okay, let's talk about TikTok. Mr. TikTok.
How it got banned and Walmart and Microsoft are trying to buy it?
No.
And
Carrying Cross, my Mr. TikTok.
Yeah, well, tough titties. There's a lot of problems on that note. Since you brought it up, before we get into it, so
he's hell when he's well, but he's mostly sick.
Pretty much. So, if you watched our previous episode, you know we kind of made bets and predictions on the pay-per-view results.
And you know what? We had a tiebreaker set in place, and then we didn't even freaking predict it, and then we tied.
Hey, I have a way to do a tiebreaker on this.
No, we're just going to scrap it, and we're using payback.
And Larry just gets to sit and laugh because he's not involved in this one.
But we could do our tiebreaker on the U.S. title since that got put on the pre-show. Because we said no pre-show matches.
We predicted the U.S. title.
I know, but we said no pre-show matches.
No, we said that about Takeover, not about SummerSlam. So get over it. Just because you want to be the winner.
I would have won with that, though.
No, because I picked Apollo, too.
I picked MVP, so that's what would have made me win.
No, MVP lost.
MVP lost.
I know. That's why we'd scrap that match, and I'd win. Oh.
No.
Hold on.
If you scrap that match...
I'm looking at the results here. Let's see, one.
That's how Steve got the extra win, was because of the U.S. title match that was on the pre-show.
But when we made the prediction, it was on the regular show. The only pre-show match was the god-awful tag match.
Either way, across the board, since it was a tie on that, we're just rolling it into the next pay-per-view.
And you know why he's fighting this so much, right? You know why he's fighting this so much? Because the last time we went head-to-head on a pay-per-view, he lost.
Down to the main event.
And
I'll still trust Jericho anytime.
And it was great because we were watching it together, and he's just like, shit.
I'm not a huge Moxley fan, so I'll always stand with Le Champion.
PWI #1 of the year, by the way.
That was shocking.
Get that in there.
Yeah, that was cool. But shocking.
So before we get into the results and our recaps, so I just want to show you what we will be playing for.
What will be on my shoulder the majority of the show.
This is the...
yeah, baby. Flip it over. You're not Dallas.
I'll hold it like Dallas if I want. This is the Triple Crown Podcast Championship Belt. So if you even notice, they even got our nice logo in the bottom of it there.
Yeah, baby.
Side
Eagle
plates
holding
have
the logos.
Side plates have the actual logos on them as well. And then even got the American flag on the 5th plate. So it's, it's a legit belt here. Now, we're not officially sponsored. I'm working on something with them, but big shout out to Undisputed Belts for the rapid turnaround.
And the excellent freaking work.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is
beautiful.
absolutely phenomenal. The
Mhm.
leather is nice and soft. The metal plates are really well done. The etching's done with the laser is really beautiful. The imaging on the screen isn't going to do it justice just because of the reflection. But turnaround time from the time of initially ordering and submitting artwork to them tooling the artwork and proofing it and getting it made and to me was 4 days.
Unreal.
Business days. That is amazing.
Unreal.
So it's
Take that, Pakistan.
I mean
Wow.
that's good length there. That'll fit around you guys for sure. Not me. I'm a fat ass, but that's what is on the line when we're doing our predictions.
Yep. And spoiler alert, Larry has to send it to me or Steve.
That's right.
He
is out the running.
Depending on the outcome of Payback.
Oh, you think you're going to rally?
You think you're back in the running with Payback?
No, Payback's just between me and Chris because we're the ones that tied.
And we scrap and start over.
No, we carry over.
Oh,
No.
wow.
No.
It's a different week. It's a new pay-per-view.
No. You were eliminated.
It's not a three-way dance, my friend.
That's what we're saying. It's not a three-way dance. It's just a one-on-one now.
That's right. You got eliminated. You're just trying to weasel out of paying shipping.
No, I'm not. I'm fine paying shipping. I got no problem with that. I really have no problem paying shipping to get it to you. I'm just saying, Payback's the next pay-per-view. You start over with it.
Dude, it tied. It carries over. It's between me and Chris.
See, I get what you're saying, but we got to keep everyone included in each event. Eliminating someone each time doesn't work. And unfortunately, WWE put 2 pay-per-views week to week, which was stupid.
Well, here's my question. Did you also order a mini for a consolation prize? Because that's what you're playing for. Oh!
Hey, quick shout out to KK Creations since you're showing your cup.
Yeah, baby. KK Creations, one of the as of right now, the only, but we're working on it, official sponsor of the Triple Crown Wrestling Review, KK's Creations. Custom t-shirts, artwork, vinyl work, decals, decor, anything you need, KK's Creations can get it to you. Look her up on Facebook at kkcreations.2020.
Yeah, so Steve is repping it really well. He's got the logo on the back, he's got the bottom. Chris, where's your representation? Mine won't be here till Tuesday.
I just got off work, man. I was scrambling already. So
so it's okay for you to scramble, but it's not okay for me to?
Well, you're the one that has to supply the access, so no, you have to be on top of it.
Yeah.
We're just wait. In the world trying to take away punctuality now because that's a bad trait to have?
Not on Zoom calls. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, I love it.
With all that going on, let's just go. We'll start with Takeover 30 and go match by match as far as what's on the card, and we can rally our predictions and talk about it.
Do you have the handkerchief to wipe away the tear? Because again, you're eliminated.
I admit I only got one right. I admit it. I admit when I'm wrong. You need to get off your high horse.
The air's nicer up here, homie.
Anyhow, Takeover 30. We had 5 matches that we were doing predictions on. Obviously, there was a Takeover pre-show that we didn't do predictions on. We'll talk about it when we go over the whole event. But
I believe we were actually on the air when the pre-show was.
Yeah,
I think we were too. I think we're actually recording at that point. That's how much we thought of it.
Listen, I believe we were actually on the air.
Yep, we were.
So the match card for Takeover 30 included Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher, the North American Championship ladder match, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, however you say it, Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai, and Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. So we'll run down our predictions, and then we'll go over the event. So in Finn versus Thatcher, you guys both predicted Finn. I took Thatcher. And
how'd that work out for you?
And the North American Championship ladder match, Steve took Damian Priest.
Yeah, baby.
Chris took Johnny Gargano, and I took Cameron Grimes as a long shot. Hey, I have no problem taking a long shot.
I
went for the moon just like he did.
I'm giving us all three credit on that match because all three of our guys actually looked like they were going to take it.
Yep.
Yeah,
all three of them
all looked really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we had Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee.
I get you. It's hard to say. Yeah.
I believe it's McAfee.
McAfee, okay. So, Steve, you took McAfee. Chris, you took Cole. I took McAfee. Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. We all took Io, and we all were correct.
Like it was that hard to predict.
Yeah, well. And match 5 was Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. Both picked Keith Lee, and Chris took Karrion Kross.
TikTok.
So, of the 5 matches, Steve was right 3 out of 5. I was right 1 out of 5, and Chris was the winner of Takeover 30 with 4 of 5. Yes, 1 of 5. I admit it, but I gambled on mine. I gambled with some lesser-known talents, hoping. Come on, I understand.
Well, no,
Finn's
all
a
you
big
wanted
name,
to do was dig yourself a hole.
No. My point of why. Look, I'll go over why I picked who I picked. Figured with them bringing Finn Balor back from the main roster, rather than. Why would they take someone with Thatcher they're trying to build up and bury him by putting Finn over? Well, they buried him.
Well, because Triple H is the original holder of the golden shovel.
Actually, Hogan's the original holder of the golden shovel, if you really want to get technical.
Yeah, but nobody used it to the efficiency as Triple H
freaking
did.
Hart knows about that one.
Oh, no shit, yeah.
WrestleMania 7. I beat Yokozuna. Oh, shit. No, wait, there's Hogan. What the hell?
No, that was WrestleMania 9.
Whatever.
Woo!
Bless you.
1.
So with Cameron Grimes, again, I took a long shot, went for someone, thought they'd shoot him to the moon. He did pretty good in the match, but
seriously, if I wasn't so high on Damian Priest, that would have been my pick.
Right. With Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, I didn't see them putting the celebrity under. I figured they'd put him over, especially with the rumor of Cole leaving. That was my reason on that.
Well, and the other thing is that it turns out he had secretly signed like an 18-month extension.
Well, that makes sense then. With Io, I mean, we figured that was obvious. And then with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, I was just hoping they weren't calling him up. I was truly hoping they were going to leave him where he was.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make sense to finally put the big belt on him and then a month later call him up.
Especially with him handing over the North American. It's like, here, I'm gonna give this one away because, let's give someone else an opportunity because I got this one. Oh, I'm going to drop it in 30 days.
And then I'm going to appear on Raw in a skort.
Now, his gear reminded me of Samoa Joe's gear. It wasn't exactly a skort.
Yeah. I thought it was like Samoa Joe shorts.
Vince like, he doesn't have the greatest body. Put a shirt on him.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
But, I mean, literally, I understand they were
like
shorts, but they do look like a skort.
Yeah, it straight looks like a dress. I'm not saying it doesn't, but
and he had some of the best entrance music in wrestling.
Oh yeah, that pissed me off.
And for no reason whatsoever, they change it.
Oh, yeah. Vince is trying to put his stamp on it.
Yeah, but it was like just a basic guitar riff.
Go away.
Well, yeah, but that's what happened when Jim Johnson left the company.
Jim Johnson was one of the best freaking music composers ever.
He's composed some of the best music in WWE history, from Goldust to Razor Ramon to Mankind to he's composed Triple H's Motorhead music. He composed DX's music.
Yeah, well, he has the connections too, like what you're just saying with Motorhead and
any of those
up and coming heavy metal bands.
When you actually hear the story of how he came up with the Big Show's entrance music, like you don't think the Big Show's entrance music is any great shakes. And then you hear Jim Johnson tell the story and you're just like, holy crap.
Right. So they don't have, mind you, the Stephanie Music, as they call it, the corporate name of the music division, they should have some good producers and creators, but without Jim Johnson at the helm, it's kind of floundered a little.
I don't get it though, because NXT still has really good entrance music and themes. So
yeah, I mean, in general, they have some really cool stuff. I mean, that's where Finn Balor's music originated. That's where, we got the entrance for the Demon. We got Glorious. Yeah, Glorious was great. And then in general, there's just so many great composed musics that come out of NXT.
Yeah.
Why would they eliminate something that was doing so well in NXT and just trash it? That made no sense at all. Mm-hmm. So either way, stupid. I mean, that music comes and goes, ring gear comes and goes. Hopefully, they learn their lesson from his first appearance and move on.
Yeah, hopefully they do what like what they did with the Viking Raiders on their first episode ever, calling them the Viking experience.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
And then they had how many different name changes in the span of 3 weeks?
And then, they were originally the War Raiders.
Yeah, but Vince can't have the name War in anything. I mean, come on.
Well, and plus,
wasn't it War Machine originally? They were called back in the day.
When they were
the
Ring of Honor, they were War Machine.
Yeah, which I still love War Machine.
Well, he was going to get sued by Marvel if he used that. You know that.
Well, I mean, that's a good point too. Yeah, I didn't think about it.
They're not going to go after a couple indie wrestlers on the indie circuit going around the world, but the second WWE says, "Here's War Machine." Oh. Copyright.
Cease and desist.
You did this. We're doing this. But so this takes us into the actual event because obviously we're skipping the actual recap of the tag team #1 contendership match, which, whatever.
Who won that, by the way?
Breezango.
Spoiler alert, Steve, because you don't care. They're the new tag team champions.
That's cool. I mean...
Yeah, it shows how weak the division is right now in NXT.
Right. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. Breezango can wrestle. I just do not like their gimmick. I don't like
I don't either.
I never was a fan of Tyler Breeze's gimmicks of any kind. I mean, I understand Prince Pretty worked when he was originally in NXT. It didn't work when they brought him up to the main roster.
Yeah.
Right.
And I understand he got some comedy credit when him and Fandango got, or whatever, Fandango, is that his name?
Fandango with their Fashion Police. And
that stuff got some popularity, and it got him some
I liked the
notoriety.
Fashion Police. The Fashion Police was funny.
I thought it was too cheesy.
And that's what they were going for, cheeseball comedy, because you know what? Yeah. You can't take Tyler Breeze seriously. He came out in fur-covered boots, like
with a selfie stick.
With a selfie
stick covered in fur, and called himself Prince Pretty. I'm sorry.
And the
Pretty? What the?
The only stupid part about the Fashion Police to me is the case of 2B. Like, as soon as they announced the case of 2B, the entire world's like, yeah, it's the Bludgeon Brothers. And they dragged it on for like 2 months.
Yeah. So, it's we'll get into that when we cover NXT on the next episode, because obviously we're just covering the 2 pay-per-views. But yes, thank you for the spoiler, Chris. That was, wonderful.
I didn't talk about the match. I just wanted to spoil
and it's literally a spoiler that nobody's going to give a flying you-know-what about.
That's why I brought it up.
I'm not arguing that fact. So the first match we're going to be fully covering, is Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. What are your thoughts, boys?
Yeah. I don't like Thatcher, man. It just bores the shit out of me.
Oh, it was a silent pop top.
That's what I thought about it. I had to get some beer in on that one.
But no, my thoughts on Timothy Thatcher, great worker, horrible look.
Yeah, he doesn't have a great look, but watching this match, I actually enjoyed it. The actual ring work, the mat work was really well done. The false finishes were done. The fact that Balor missed the coup de grace, it kept going back so well. It actually had psychology to the match, which I thought was really good.
And I like the fact that they're bringing a true shooter back into wrestling.
I mean, he's a perfect person to go against Balor and actually let Balor show what he can do.
But I said, it's just a horrible look.
I don't mind a shooter back. Like I hear what you're saying, Steve. It's just it's what you're saying. It's the look is just not working. If I want a shooter, I want somebody more like a Matt Riddle type of shooter.
He needs to develop his personality and his character more. Because there's no. It's like, okay, he's basically Rick Steiner without the headgear.
Well, and that's the thing is,
and the barking.
Well, that was after Rick Steiner started developing a character.
Like when I see Thatcher, I think of the Catalina wine mixer scene in Step Brothers. There's just something wrong with your face. Can I fix it? No, you can't. But there's something wrong with it, and I don't like it.
Oh,
he reminds me of more of an old school Regal that just didn't shower. And maybe it's just because he's British, but.
Well, I mean, you also got to remember, British, they take their stuff a lot more seriously, so maybe he hasn't learned how to come out of his shell. Maybe that's how they want him to be, more of that serious, who knows. But, like I said, the match was good overall. And, from everything I read, everyone's giving it a B, B+, even A's when you go with the reviews. I thought it was a really good match. It could have been done better.
And you know what they can do with Thatcher? They can pair him with Lorcan and Birch, and they can be
awful.
They can be like the British Street Fighters.
No, then that breaks the whole British 1 and 2 gimmick.
Well, no, not British strong style, because that is all Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne is freaking awesome. But no, I'm talking
he's the bruiserweight. Bring him into that same group.
But you know what I'm saying? Like how Regal used to be. He was like, "Oh, I grew up fighting in the alleyways of Blackpool."
Oh yeah.
That's that would be their gimmick. Put all three of them together and give them that gimmick.
Actually, I think Thatcher would be best with a Sheamus. I think them as a tag team would be best.
Oh no, you don't put a Brit with an Irishman. They never get
along. That's. What are you thinking?
But they have that whole shooter, I'm going to brawl you in the back alley like you guys are talking about. So especially with Sheamus' new look.
So do Lorcan and Birch.
Sheamus would kick his ass, piss in his hat, have a pint, and leave.
Yes.
Piss in Sheamus' own hat that he's been wearing lately? Is that what you're talking about?
The bowler?
Yeah.
The bowler and the white tank top.
The piss.
I love it.
I feel like Gangs in New York all again. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and it's like Gangs in New York. It's just
if he breaks out in song, I swear.
he looks just like an original Irish immigrant who immigrated to the United States.
Yep.
Because that's how they showed up.
Because Vince has got to say, we got to have an Irish hero, we got to have a Mexican hero, we've got
Well,
that is his way of booking.
And the thing is that's why, people ask why the WWE loves Sheamus so much, because Vincent Kennedy McMahon is the original big Irish.
Yeah.
And he loves his fellow Irishmen.
And he lost his last kicker because,
Seth Rollins is an unsafe worker.
In more ways than one. Seth, latex is your friend. Let's get Seth a sponsorship with Trojan, but I don't think they'd hire him at this point. Oh, good Lord. So overall,
he would get a lifestyle sponsorship because, they're not quite as accurate.
99 cents for condoms, right next to the birth control and the pregnancy tests. All right, so Balor versus Thatcher, all in all, not a bad match. Enjoyed it. Is what it is.
It's fine. Yeah. Next match, though.
It was a
match of the night.
It was a solid start to the pay-per-view because you want that curtain jerker to.
It was a great curtain jerker, that's for sure.
To lift the show up, and it just build from there.
Yeah. So then we go into what should have been, I think, should have been the main event. Honestly.
Yeah.
I really think they should have closed the show with this. But this was the ladder match for the North American Championship. Yeah, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream. And can I just say, even though I picked Cameron Grimes, it was really cool to see Bronson Reed in the Bam Bam Bigelow attire because, God rest him, Bigelow was an amazing talent.
Yeah. For a big man, he can move.
Yeah.
And that's how Bronson Reed is now. So
and it's showing he has some ability.
And may I also say, rest in peace, Johnny Gargano, for taking that splash off the ladder.
Oh my God, with Candace on the. I mean, I know they only had like 2 pounds because she's so small, but
yeah, she's a fairy after all.
I mean, that was a tall ladder, and that was a big man and a big fall. I don't care how much he braced for that one, he still made contact.
I was going to say, Gargano still went splat.
Yeah, Gargano's about 3 inches wider all the way
I
around.
actually think for about a tenth of a frame, Gargano actually disappeared.
The ring just swallowed him.
Between the ring and Bronson Reed, there was just no Johnny Gargano.
Couldn't breathe. Oh, I'm under flap.
And they literally peeled him off the mat.
Bronson Reed, don't come kill us, please.
No, we love you, thick boy, but damn.
I don't think I would have signed up for that spot. Like, seriously, if I was in that match, I'd be like, I don't want any part of that part. No, because most likely they'd be throwing me off the ladder because of my size. And it hurts you when you do a splash, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of it either.
Because when you're doing the splash, it's all knees and elbows.
Exactly. So all your weight at knees and elbows, or all your weight falling down on someone. No, I'm good. But they had a bunch of cool little spots in there. You know, I like how Damian Priest and I think it was Velveteen were actually fighting over the belt once it was disconnected.
Yep.
It's still through the hook. I thought that was pretty cool how they did it, because I think that's one of the first times I've seen that.
And I also loved Velveteen's disappearing act. That was awesome.
Yes, that was great.
See, the thing with the belts up at the top, I've seen them fight over it while it's still connected and snapped, but I've never seen it disconnected and you have one and actually like almost flossing the hanger with it.
They kind of did something really similar with Miz and Morrison and the New Day. They kind of did that same kind of thing with the tag belts.
You know what, that might make sense, because who was a producer on SmackDown at that point and who was a producer on NXT right now? Jesse James, Road Dogg.
And that's the thing, is the only bad part about ladder matches is there's only so many ways you can end them. And I believe we've seen all of them at this point.
And I think Edge had one of the best endings to one of them at WrestleMania 17 with a spear off the ladder.
Well, that didn't end the match. I'm talking about the actual removal of the belts. I know what you're saying, but I'm talking there's only so many ways you can remove the belt.
I think if I remember correctly, Jeff Hardy hung up on the hanger once, disconnected, and fell with the belts.
Again,
so I mean, they've done almost everything they can do.
That's my entire point. There's only so many ways you can take a belt off of a loop and end a match, and we've seen all of them by this point.
I just thought of one. Montez Ford jumps from the corner,
yes,
and grabs it because he can do it.
Yes,
he might get hung up on it.
Tez goes he sets up to go for like a frog splash, but instead of dropping down, he just grabs the ring and goes, "Nope, mine."
Oh God, if they do that, if they go to a tag ladder match and they do that, so far we've seen the writing do things we've called.
Yes. Somebody is listening.
Yeah.
We don't know who this somebody is, but somebody is listening.
If you work for WWE Creative and you're listening to our podcast, please drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. Or at least give us like some semblance of credit, even if it's only us that can understand it.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that, but yeah, something. Have someone come out saying, "We are the Triple Crown." And it's like, what the?
Or
new faction name.
Or air spell HWR.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
Brad.
that's a little bit obvious, but
a little on the nose.
But even the
no one would know what the hell
the
that
tiniest
was.
part of our smallest logo, like the HWR logo, just supplement it somewhere where only we would know because we're the only ones looking for it.
Suddenly, Baron Corbin's wearing 3 crowns.
Oh dear God! Do not shame our brand that way.
Let's get back to the match. That match was great. I think each participant stood out really well. I was really worried about this match because I didn't know what to expect from Cameron Grimes. I didn't know what to expect from Thick Boy. Damian Priest has had okay matches. I mean, they've not been blow you away. Velveteen hasn't been that great lately.
Damian Priest needs that guy to elevate him. He's at this level. But he can get to this level if he's got an elevator.
He's got to have someone that can work him and actually put him over really well.
Yep.
It's kind of like how when you look back at with Kurt Angle, he was a great wrestler, but he needed someone to bring him over. He needed Austin to really put him over the top.
Imagine how
that's where-
great a
that's where-
match. Imagine how great a one-on-one match between Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano would be.
I would say
it'd be great.
Ciampa would be a better option, honestly.
Well, I thought
No, Gargano is the guy that can take all the punishment. Gargano is the modern day DDP. You put Gargano into a match to make a guy look good. Because
No, I get what you're saying.
always
I get what you're
sold
saying, but
the opponent all the way up to the point where the opponent lost.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm also thinking Ciampa could do that as well.
Well, and we already kind of saw that with this ladder match. We saw them have brawls back and forth. And Finn Balor and Damian Priest wasn't a bad match because that's one that stands out to me.
Balor could definitely take, Damian Priest to the next level. That
Which it was a good storyline that they had going at that time when Priest took him out too.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't mind Priest. It's just they had a lot of hype for him, and then it kind of wore down, and then now it's
roared back up.
Yeah, now it's back again. But
it's not
I think
roaring up, it's sneaking up. It didn't roar,
Yeah.
it did some sneaking.
Yeah. I think it's because they didn't know how they wanted to make him as a character.
Yeah, because he was kind of lost character-wise for a little bit.
When he first came in, he's tweener. Then he went heel when he took out Balor, but Balor was a heel at the time, so that was kind of weird. And then he went tweener again, and now he's like, I'm just the party guy in the hot tub, and I'm going to be a good guy. So
yeah, I didn't know how to take that.
belts and bitches, baby.
Yeah.
so he's turning almost into a Flair-esque version of himself,
Sure.
And the thing that baffles me so much about Damian Priest is I hated Punishment Martinez with a passion. Yet I love Damian Priest. And it's
You like the arrow. It's the arrow, isn't
it's repackaging. It's giving him a new persona. You know what it really is? It's putting him in WWE, and that's when you got a hard on for him.
No, because
there
are several independent guys that I am very high on.
I know. Come on, chill. You're talking to me, who loves a lot of the indies.
No, I know. We're both indie darlings.
Yeah, I don't call me that. So this takes us into a match. They said this was supposedly pretty good. I'll be honest, I fell asleep during this part.
Okay, so you're talking about the Cole McAfee match?
Yeah.
McAfee or whatever his name is. This match was very, very slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very slow.
Hence why I fell asleep.
Yes. Finally, when McAfee does the whole backflip off the top rope, you're like, whoa, he can do something. And then he jumps up and does the superplex. Then you're like, okay, this guy can move. And then I was entertained in the match the rest of the way.
And then the Swanton-esque thing off the top onto the floor. That was cool, too.
So this wasn't a situation where, and then the bell rang.
No. Like it looked like it was going to be an end the bell rang situation for like the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was really,
and
really
then it
slow
took
at the end.
off.
Yeah. It was once he did that backflip off the top rope, then it was like, okay, they woke up and they're ready to fight now.
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to go back and watch it because I haven't had a chance to. Again, falling asleep during that match kind of makes it tough to review it because I didn't really see it.
It's kind of hard to watch that match when you're watching your eyelids.
Yeah, just a little bit, But
And he's apparently been getting trained by O'Reilly and Fish.
That was the thing is they said he had like 6 to 8 months of training with O'Reilly and Fish before any of this even started.
Yeah.
So and everyone's giving it a grade A. Like every review I've heard has been
no.
awesome.
I wouldn't give it an A. No.
I'd
give it a solid B because it started too slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, then this goes to the women's championship match. Io Shirai is your champion versus Dakota Kai. I thought this was entertaining. It wasn't the best women's match I've ever seen, but it was entertaining. We knew Shirai wasn't going to lose. I don't think Dakota Kai is ready for a championship. I see her probably getting called up without ever holding the NXT Women's Championship.
Well, and that was the thing is
all because of retribution.
My review of this match is it was a match that involved Dakota Kai.
Do you not like Dakota Kai?
No, I don't.
He's never been a big supporter of her. I like Dakota Kai. I like it, especially like the more heelish version of her.
Yes,
being involved in Team Kick, that was fun, but I like her since she did the swerve and she's been a little more crazy and edgy. I like that version of her better. But honestly, I see her ending up on the main roster without ever holding the NXT Women's Championship.
That'd be disappointing. I've liked Dakota Kai since pretty much she got known by Shayna Baszler when Shayna Baszler like broke her elbow or whatever it was when she started
I love
doing the
the
whole
fact that they
stomping on the
brought
elbow
that
thing.
up.
Yeah,
I love the fact that they brought that up.
yeah.
Well, it's smart to it. Builds history for the persona. It lets you get to know the character as an actual worker and not just, oh, well, she's a one-off. Because if you don't pay attention to the history of NXT, you're not going to know who she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as she grew as a babyface, I didn't mind her the whole entire time. It was my wife used to always say Dakota Kai was like Bayley 2.0, though. She was never a fan of her as a face because she just gave off the bright ring gear. It kind of the side pony type of thing, but then when she turned heel, then I don't know. I really started enjoying her, and then I like that she's like very Shawn Michaels Diesel, and I hate to say it like that, but
that's a great way of. That's a really good way of doing it. That's a really good. way of
I mean, you've got a solid instigator with the muscle behind him to get him out of trouble,
and it brings me back to those times. So that's why I've really enjoyed this whole gimmick that she's got going.
She's a Weasley heel. You could see her actually winning the title because she has someone to back her up.
Yeah.
You know, and then she'll always get out of a jam because she has someone to back her up until that person turns on her.
See,
so I could see that working. But I honestly feel they're not going to go that route. I think they're going to call her up as part. I really, really feel they're going to put her in this retribution shit.
I don't think so.
Like I could definitely see her with the belt behind Reina Gonzalez and doing the whole Shawn Michaels thing, jumping over Diesel's shoulder and peeking the belt up and then hiding again.
that would be absolutely great. Yeah. I would love to see that. Yeah. And have it in a feud with Rhea Ripley. That would be perfect.
And then Rhea can destroy her.
That's why I liked. I did
because Dakota Kai can be ragdolled and beat the shit out of.
Oh yeah.
And Rhea Ripley is a perfect person to pull that off. So
that's why I did like this match because it also kind of led to Raquel Gonzalez against Rhea Ripley.
See, and that was the thing that worried me about when Rhea came out because Rhea and Reina are actually really good friends. Like they were tag teaming on the NXT tours together, and I'm like, oh, dear God, do not turn Rhea Ripley heel and pair her with these two. Please, dear God, do not.
Although Rhea Ripley,
they always say
she's a great heel, though.
But they always say the best of friends always have the best rivalries, too.
That's very true. I mean, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, you follow them back in the day when it was El Generico versus Kevin Steen. They had some of the best matches on the indie circuit. They had some of the best stuff even in NXT and even a little bit on the main roster. They did it. You have a prime example. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's looked at as one of the best ladder matches, if not the best ladder match in history.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's one of those rare examples where the sequel actually wasn't that bad either.
Yeah, the sequel wasn't bad. Obviously, the original was better, but the sequel was not bad.
But usually when you have a complete carbon copy sequel of a match, it's a turd.
Yeah, I'll give you that. We saw that many times with, many Hogan matches, and let's not get into that. So, obviously,
that could be a retrospective show. The absolute worst sequel matches of all time.
As long as they don't redo the finger poke of doom, I think we're all okay.
It's the single moment that killed WCW.
No, that was when David Arquette got the title.
No, the finger poke of doom happened before that. So it was already dead.
No. I'll take it back. It's when Jeff Jarrett got the goddamn title.
Yeah.
All right, slap nuts.
Yeah.
When he started leading WWO, that's when it started going downhill.
The only good thing about Jeff Jarrett that ever happened to WCW is when he hit Beetlejuice with the guitar.
No, the only thing that happened, the good thing happened to WCW with Jeff Jarrett is when
he left.
When Vince McMahon said, "Gone." Gone.
Yeah, he spelled JEFFJONNE.
Yeah, exactly. That was the best thing Jeff Jarrett did in WCW.
And Jeff Jarrett's reaction to that was great. He's like, "Well, I guess I can go home."
Oh God, thank you, Bruce Pritchard, for all your wonderful insights into the inner workings of wrestling, because you've made it entertaining as hell for us to go back and watch these things.
Yeah, because you can just see Jeff Jarrett standing there with Bruce and Shane, and I guess I can go home.
They're standing at Gorilla watching it on the monitor. Bye.
I guess I'll go pack up my shit.
Oh, good Lord. So obviously, Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai. Wasn't a bad match. It wasn't an amazing outing, but it wasn't something I turned off. That's for sure.
I don't think we had high expectations on the match anyways.
No, I don't think we did either.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So this takes us into the NXT Championship match, the main event, which again I still think should have been a dual main event. Have the ladder match after this, but
I knew they weren't going to do it. They had too much hype on this match,
and it under-delivered.
It did.
Yes,
it really did.
Yes, it did.
We know how much Keith Lee can go. We know how much he can do. Karrion Kross, he's a talent. Don't get me wrong, but I watched him in Impact.
He's limited.
He's very limited in what he can do.
Yeah,
He's been built as an amazing monster. They've worked his gimmick really well.
Heaven forbid you ever ask him to blade.
But I really think this was a case of, resume doesn't match up to performance with
not at all.
Karrion Kross.
And going back to what you were talking about, Larry, that was the same thing with him in TNA. Like,
exactly.
He always had these high-profile matches. Everybody was all hyped about him, and he never delivered. They were just like, whatever.
So, which makes it's even sadder that he won and took the title off of Lee. And we understand why it was done. It was done because Vince wanted Lee on the main roster.
And to piggyback on my point, when TNA had switched to Impact, the dude is booked in a First Blood match, and he says, "Yeah, I'm not going to blade." If I was his opponent, I'd be like, "That's fine, because now you're going the hard way."
Yeah, you're going to get color the hard way.
I'm not going to give you a blood capsule and stick a kendo stick in your mouth.
No. I'm going to take my fist and beat the shit out of you on your bald head, or a steel chair to the skull and actually split your ass open.
I was going to say, I am going to go Brock Lesnar style, take my elbow pads off, and you're getting elbows until you bleed.
Oh, no, go Sammy Guevara with Matt Hardy, and I'm just going to chuck a chair at your head to make the blade job worse. I'm just gonna try and decapitate you as much as you can. If you tell me we're in a First Blood match, I'm not gonna blade. Yeah, you are.
No, that would have been my only response. I'd be like, all right, cool, dude. You just earned yourself a hard way.
There's only been in my experience in wrestling, when you say you don't want to get color, you're gonna be the one getting color. And if you tell them I want to get color, you're gonna get a lot of color.
Oh yeah.
You just say, okay, so how's this going? All right, cool. You don't sit there and try and jockey for position on who's getting color, who's not getting color. You just wait for the booker to tell you he's going over, so you got to bleed. Got it.
Well, and look at Lex Luger in the backyard brawl with the Horsemen. He had never bladed before in his life, and he had to have somebody else do it, and they did a very, very, very good job.
I have 2 words for you: mass transit.
Oh God.
That's called someone else getting you color. That kid almost got murdered.
Oh.
Rest in peace. He is dead.
Talking about the guy with New Jack?
Yes.
Yeah. So look, I can tell you
number one, you're trusting your freaking color to New Jack, okay?
You don't do that. You just don't. That's like trusting Sabu with a knife too. You don't do it. But I can tell you from my time on the Indies, when it's time for color, you hope to God there's EMTs nearby that can give you a surgical incision and fill it with Vaseline, so they can make it look like a hard way, so it actually looks better. You hope to God that's the case.
And if you have to do it yourself, you hope to God you don't hit a vein.
Yeah. The other way is you hope to God that if you're going to go a hard way, you trust the guy you're working with. Because if you know the guy and you know him really well, like me and my friends did, we can give each other a hard way and it won't actually kill us.
Oh, no, the easiest place to get a hard way is right here.
Exactly. But, when your friend's mad at you and you get a hard way here, I think the best hard way I ever got was my mouth. So, I mean.
No, hard way, you're going, okay, I'm getting a fist or an elbow right above the eyebrow.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, if you're going in there and you're jockeying for position, I'm not getting color, you're getting color. Oh, you're going to get a hard way really bad, and it's going to be one of the worst ones you ever got. So, just word of the wise, if you're going to get color, just do what the booker says.
I was to say, you argue the point, you're skipping the stitches stage, you're skipping the glue stage, and you're going straight to staples.
Yeah. You know, if you really want color to look good, like it did with like Ric Flair in the 80s and the 70s when he faced like Candido and guys like that, and they had the full crimson masks, it looked good, but they didn't die, you trust the booker. That's all there is to it.
I was saying, then if you want really good color where you put your life in danger, see Randy Orton at SummerSlam.
No. Eddie Guerrero versus JBL.
Yeah, that one was bad too.
Or again, New Jack Mass Transit Incident. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's disturbing, very disturbing.
The Orton Lesnar one was one of the most brutal ones we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I will give you that.
That was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, just a little bit. So going back into the match we're supposed to be covering.
Anyway,
that'll tell you how underwhelming and underperforming this match was. We got sidetracked on talking shit about Karrion Kross not wanting to bleed from something he did in TNA.
Yeah.
That's how bad this match was in my mind.
It was
the fact that the build-up was good. The way they've built Karrion Kross in NXT is pretty cool. I like what they've done with him. He's got this mysterious gimmick, but the problem is when it's time, when the bell rings, it's still Karrion Kross.
Larry, were you able to pinpoint the spot where he separated his shoulder? Because I can't find it.
No, I've looked like 4 or 5 times. I don't think it actually got caught on camera. The move happened, and I think the camera switched, and you don't see it. Like, I haven't been able to notice it, and it wasn't like the socket. It came completely out of socket. I think it was a muscle separation.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Triple H quad tear or the Sabu bicep tear. You can't see the muscle shift.
I mean, you can see it a little bit because they're on that injured shoulder. Yeah. You can see that the muscle, his trap kind of does creep up just a little bit, and that shoulder.
Yeah, but it's not like that. It's not like that Triple H match where you see him step and you actually see his.
Oh yeah. You
know, it's not one of those. I've tried watching it a few times to get to it, and I just can't spot it.
Yeah, I was trying to pinpoint it after I figured out. Once we got the news that he wasn't selling, this was a legitimate injury. I went back and watched it again to deliberately look for the move that did it, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he did his finisher with that separated shoulder, because that was.
So I'll tell you why that is. He's in a match. He's got his adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
He didn't feel the injury at that point.
You know, the thing that he did that hurt the worst is lift that belt up at the end of the match, because the adrenaline is fading off.
At the end of the match, and he's doing this with that 15 pounds of gold. He's dying, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's the most painful part, because the adrenaline's wearing off, and they're like, I know you're hurt, but you got to raise the belt up. And when you have
if I was in that case, I'd be like, okay, let me switch hands.
Yeah, just hand switch it. Yeah.
But like Balor said when he won the Universal title, that cameraman is right in front of him, and they're saying, lift the belt, lift the belt, lift the belt. You don't have time to shift it to the other arm.
I got to move to a strong hand.
So I find it funny. There's something I was watching not too long ago, is when they were doing the whole build up to WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre lays Brock Lesnar out on the stage, and he's standing over him. Brock is literally yelling at him to pick up the belt because McIntyre didn't know to do it. He's like, pick up the goddamn belt. He's like, pick up the goddamn belt. You know, it's one of those things. It's 101 storytelling. You have to do that kind of thing. And obviously McIntyre hadn't been in that position recently. So it's not something they're used to. I get it. But I just find it funny with a situation like that. But definitely with this match, the review I read on it, they gave it a B.
That's a little generous.
That's generous, I think. I was thinking C+.
I would give it a D.
I was thinking C+ territory.
The only reason I gave it a C+ and not in the D's is because he finished the match with an injury.
Yep.
And that's difficult to do. I really think Keith Lee carried this match as much as he could. Because even though Karrion Kross isn't that big, that's a lot of weight to carry in a match. That really is.
That's why they said Sid's the heaviest piece of luggage ever created.
Damn right.
Well,
you'd know, wouldn't you, Steve?
Oh!
Reason I'm giving it a D, though, is because there was so much hype on this match. This is supposed to be the big Takeover 30 main event. And
that's a valid point as well.
It was so lackluster. It was bad. And that's why what you mentioned earlier, Larry, is like that ladder match should have definitely been the main event.
Yeah, it really should have. It's
because it was the show stealer, but it also was miles ahead of this match.
And my last little thought about this match is wardrobe. Please do not put Scarlett in a catsuit. Keep her in dresses. She looks so much better in a dress than in a catsuit.
She looks good in anything, but I agree with you. A dress is better.
Yeah, I like the leather.
It just covered too much of her up. Like it hid her best features. The dresses accentuate all of her curves, and
they just need to get the right catsuit. They just need to get the right
catsuit. Just
have her talk to Nakamura's people. He comes up with some crazy catsuits. They could probably come up with something that's more form fitting to her that accents. So overall, Takeover 30 wasn't bad. Takeover 30 was actually pretty good.
For a 5-match show, it was very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
usually the shorter match shows under-deliver because we're expecting more matches out of an event.
I honestly expected that ladder match to go longer than it did.
They always consistently do like 5 matches with NXT. So I didn't expect anything less with that. I just think...
Well, no, they were hyping up 30 like they hype up Brooklyn. And
That's
Brooklyn always has the longer. Brooklyn has 6 to 8 matches on the card every year.
I just think, once again, with being Takeover 30, it was a very underwhelming one. I think In Your House kicked its ass. And In Your House wasn't even that big of a deal.
I will
wholeheartedly agree I missed the In Your House one, so I'll have to go back and look at it again.
And then In Your House kicked the shit out of Portland.
Yeah. Again, I didn't see In Your House, so I can't argue that. But
if we're going to talk about NXT pay-per-views, it's always War Games kicks all their asses. But you don't think so?
NXT Chicago, man.
I don't even
Some of those Brooklyn ones have been pretty badass, though.
Was that Gargano? Ciampa?
NXT Chicago is where Ciampa turned on Gargano for the first time.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That I won't argue.
That was a good one. But wasn't Portland Cole versus Ciampa?
I think it was Cole versus Dream, wasn't it?
No, because that was In Your House street fight.
Oh, that's right.
Let me throw it in the Google machine and look it up here.
The Ciampa Cole match is actually one of the best matches I've ever seen. So whichever one that was.
I believe that may have been Portland.
Let's see
so
here.
that's why I'm not going to shit on Portland. Because
Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah,
that was a 33-minute match.
Yeah, that match was incredible. So that's why I'm not going to shit on Portland.
Oh, no, I'm not shitting on Portland, but I'm saying In Your House was slightly better than Portland.
Gotcha. I like that we can argue these NXT pay-per-views, though, because they're actually really decent pay-per-views most of the time.
But like I said, beginning to end, in my opinion, beginning to end, the best NXT pay-per-view was NXT Chicago.
Mine would be the one that had the first ladder match for NXT belt one. Bell to Bell, that one was amazing.
I've never watched an NXT takeover that has left me disappointed.
No,
I've always enjoyed every takeover I've watched. So Bell to Bell, they do really good. You got to give Triple H, Shawn, all the credit in the book. Those guys know how to book events.
Yep.
Obviously more so on the Triple H side because Shawn's only been there recently. But the fact that they have a good team with their writing, they have a good team of their actual skilled talent in the ring that aren't greener than goose shit every time they come out, I think it's great.
And plus, between Shawn and Hunter, you've got the two best storytellers of their generation heading up the show.
Absolutely, that's no question about it. You have two of the best in the business at telling stories in the ring. Yeah, well, if you could just give them Raw and SmackDown to write, we'd be done.
Yeah, I hear you.
And WWE would be king again.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have to worry about, AEW coming up and kicking them in the nuts, which that will happen eventually, and it's getting closer and closer. Anyhow, this takes us into SummerSlam. So going over the match card.
Calm your pussy down.
Here, I'll introduce you to Tiger. Hi, this is Tiger. Say hi. Bye.
Wow.
Even he's like, okay, asshole.
Well, he does this all the time. Like when I'm in the middle of something, he just starts going, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, cat. Anyhow. So
That's
SummerSlam,
why I'm a dog person.
Do I need to
Same
bring
here.
up Pugsley, although he's not near me right now?
Oh, I was gonna say, don't start doing the whole official dog of the show bullshit.
Oh, it would be Pugsley if it was anyone.
That's the best when Conrad and Bruce start going after their dog.
Where'd you go? I can't find him. He's like 9 weeks old. He's like this big.
Because Conrad's dog is a girl, and he's like, no, my dog is the official dog sponsor of the show, and yours is the official female. He's like, and Conrad's like, you ain't saying my dog's no bitch.
All right, so going into SummerSlam, we had 8 matches, including the pre-show, because we did initially do our predictions, including this match, and then they moved it on the pre-show, which honestly, I think they should have put the Mandy Rose-Sonya Deville match on the pre-show.
You can't put a career match on there.
But that
It's not going to be a career match.
Oh, I know. Everybody hated it, but you can't put a career match on a pre-show.
But again, it's not going to be a legit career match because she's just taking time off. She's literally said she's taking time off. She's not leaving the company.
Right, and then
that's like everybody with the careers.
But they retired the Sonya Deville name, and when she comes back, she's going to have a completely different persona.
Deville.
Hopefully, I really hope she comes. I really want to see her come in as a badass better with a mohawk. I mean, just do it.
Okay, Ruby Riott 2.0.
Damn straight. Have her kick the shit out of her too.
She would be Onyx Riot, though. She would
Onyx
be Onyx Riot.
And Ruby will have to change her name to Emerald if she keeps staying green.
Exactly.
So the first match, which was the kickoff show, was actually your United States Championship match. Apollo Crews versus MVP. Steve, you predicted Crews. Chris, you predicted MVP. I predicted MVP.
MVP's just too old to be carrying a belt and working full time, man.
Anyhow, we'll get into talking about it. We're going. Yeah. The second match was Bayley versus Asuka, and you guys both picked Asuka. I picked Bayley.
Oh, look at you! Finally, one up on us.
Then we have
because he had to take the underdog pick. Don't give him too much credit.
No, it's because I predicted the story and I was right. So,
and again, it's not the right story.
Doesn't matter. The story's stupid.
Yeah, I'll get. We can all agree on that at least.
Like the one element of my story that they gave is Bayley sidestepping the hip attack. Big freaking deal.
Yeah, pretty much. So the next match I'm putting in here it's not in order here. So it was Sasha versus Asuka. We all picked Asuka to win, and she won. Then you had Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. Obviously, Mandy Rose won. We all picked it. Andrade and Angel Garza versus Street Profits.
Yeah.
Steve picked Street Profits.
Yeah,
Chris and I both picked Andrade Garza for the win, and I'm amazed they didn't put them over. Honestly,
I think they thought because too many title changes.
Could be. The next one on here, Strowman versus The Fiend. We all picked The Fiend, and we were all correct. We never saw it coming, did we?
Big dog!
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's the one, the biggest punchline is you'll never see it coming. And then when we get the you never seen it coming, and we're all just like, fuck, great.
And we were literally all like, oh, shit.
Great.
And then I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with his mouth?
He got Mr. Ed teeth.
Either they're veneers or it's a mouth guard, but
if those are veneers, he needs to get his goddamn money back.
Either he's wearing a grail. Then you had Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. We all picked Orton to win this, and they swerved us.
Oh my god!
Like I didn't see that coming at all.
No.
Mind blown.
Especially with the backslide. What the hell?
Yeah, that was such a basic thing.
Like it was
the only thing I could say is probably the title change will happen at Payback.
It was so.
No,
they're
they already
it was
announced
so
the match.
Shocking and unexpected. Even Drew was shocked when he landed on a backslide.
Come on, you're telling me it's Payback? There's a way to have Orton come in and take the title. He'll go kick Otis's ass and take the Money in the Bank contract and cash it in.
If Drew shows up because he's got a fractured skull.
It'll be healed by Sunday. Don't worry.
Because he's fucking superhuman.
Exactly. Then we had Rollins and Dominic in Dominic's premiere. Steve and I both picked Dominic, and Chris picked Rollins. So that puts Steve with 5 of the 8 correct, Chris with 4 of the 8 correct, and me with 4 of the 8 correct. So we were really close on this one. It was just the takeover that, was lopsided. So
yeah, crushed.
So, you just to get this straight, 5, 4. I don't even know because it doesn't matter, and yet I'm not getting the belt shipped to me. I had the most.
I had 80% on Takeover.
You both have 8. There's a tie. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Stop the bitching.
I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about.
The system is fucking rigged.
He's like he completely forgot about Takeover already.
Oh yeah.
All right, so going into this, we have the whole event. Apollo Crews versus MVP. What are your thoughts?
I didn't see the match because I didn't watch pre-show.
This was a 6-minute and 40-second match.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, so I can't predict on it.
I saw the highlights, which was basically the 3 count, and that was
pretty much. That tells you what the match was. So.
But like I said, MVP is too old to be carrying a belt and working full time.
My prediction was he was going to hand it over to Lashley, but
with what's going on with Payback, it's going to end up with Lashley with the belt anyways. So
exactly.
We'll get into that.
Yeah,
in the next
we'll get into that
episode.
next show. Yep.
So your next match was Bayley, your champion, with Sasha Banks versus Asuka. This match went 11 minutes 35 seconds. It's actually a good match for Bayley versus Asuka, which we've seen how many goddamn times now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the way I picked because I'm so freaking ready for that belt to be off of Bayley.
I'm telling you, they're letting her get a year. They're letting her get a year, and then it's going to be her and Sasha chasing each other over it.
Yeah, because they've stopped talking about how many days she's had it. So
yeah, she's going to hit a year. My prediction, honestly, they're going to drop the women's tag titles this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That Nia Jackson.
My
Baszler
only question
is
how the hell are Jackson Baszler going to work together?
They're not. One of them's going to take over, not do it, and it's going to catch a distraction between Bayley and Sasha. You got 2 cross storylines going.
So we're
Bayley
talking. We're talking when Michaels and Austin had the belts.
Pretty much.
Okay, I can see that.
So you got Bayley and Bayley and Sasha not communicating properly because Sasha's jealous of not having the Raw title. So they're not going to work well together. And then you're going to have either Nia or Shayna take over and just dominate someone and finish the match. And then they're going to be at odds with each other over being the title holders.
I was going to say, are we going to get a return of I'm the tag team champions from Team Hell?
Probably. You're probably going to get that. You're going to see Nia Jax holding both of them if she wins, or
I'm
with
the
Shayna.
tag team champions.
And then you're going to get a blood feud between the 2 of them, which, God, that's going to make for horrible TV.
No, what I want, give me a full repeat of the Team Hell No story. Send their asses to therapy.
You know what I want to see?
I
would love to see again because I liked it, and I might be the only one in this group, but give me something like 2-man power trip again, but good.
2-man power trip was underrated. I enjoyed that little run between Triple H and Austin.
Yeah, that was a great run. I really did like that. But this match went exactly as I predicted. You had Bayley retain the title due to Sasha somehow. She didn't literally come in and clock Asuka with the belt or something, but she caused a distraction.
I would say she took a bullet for Bayley.
Exactly, which is what Sasha's been doing since Bayley and her have been back together, and that's how the storyline's got to continue. But I thought it was good. It was produced really well. They did some good stuff with it, and it gave you hope for Sasha later on in the night. It kind of gave her that, oh, I can do it. Yes. We're going to say the golden role models because, oh, my God, she won.
And then in that match, because you have them listed back to back, so I'm assuming we can just go to Sasha.
I'm actually gonna in true order with the results. That was just
okay. Never mind. I'll wait.
So your next match was Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team titles. This match went 7 minutes 50 seconds.
I picked the way I picked because honestly, Garza and Angel aren't that good together.
That's the same man that you just said.
Or Andrade and Garza, excuse me.
Angel and Garza isn't good together? Wow, that's odd.
Andrade and Garza,
So
they
the right
just aren't
side doesn't talk to the left side, huh?
No, they don't. But they just don't
His
work
pants
that
don't
well.
talk to his trunks?
They just don't mesh. They don't work well together.
I can see where you're at with that. The thing is, the Street Profits, they've been pushing them really hard, and they haven't been getting a lot of traction. And then with their travel restrictions they've had and the whole Rona.
Only two tonight.
So far. Rona.
Shit.
Sorry, I have to.
Bye time.
With the travel restrictions, with health concerns, a lot of that stuff, it looked like they were going to pull the titles off them because of their availability. But with them going to the Amway Center, it looks like it's made more availability and more freedom for a lot of the wrestlers. Because in this week, you see return of a lot of. I mean, hell, you had Roman Reigns return, who hasn't wanted to be on TV because of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're in a bigger arena.
That's the magic of being in a bigger arena, and they can space out more.
Yeah.
Exactly. Each wrestler can pretty much get their own, superstar can get their own locker room and not have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, they're basically doing what the NHL was doing is they took all the executive suites in the arena and made those personal locker rooms.
Right. Exactly. And that's smart. Isn't NBA doing something similar to that where they have one arena for every game?
Yeah, they do.
And all the players are quarantined to the compound. They can't leave. They're staying in the hotels there.
Yeah.
That's a smart way of doing
They're staying at the Disney resorts, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't the worst match in the world. It wasn't a great match. The Street Profits retained.
It was boring to me. I wasn't really liking it.
I still see them trying to put the titles on them, especially now that especially after seeing Raw, them having them wear matching gear more. Their colors are matching. They're trying to show them coordinated. I think they're going to eliminate Zelina Vega out of the thing and have them just be a team together without Vega. That would be my prediction.
If they're going to drop them, they're dropping them back to the Raiders.
I don't even like that either. I'm just not on Raw's tag division right now. I think it's all crap.
There's not much to go on their tag division unless you end up with Murphy and Rollins getting them. Or Dominic and Ray getting them.
I would be okay with that. No, I'd not be okay with that. I'm saying I'm okay with Murphy and Rollins, but not Dominic and Ray.
Wow, Chris, tell us how you really feel. Jeez. I mean, AOP could come back.
Which they were rumored to come back because Paul Ellering said he's coming back soon.
Yeah, and rumored that he was supposed to be part of Rollins' new group too. But let's not.
My question is,
Reigns, not Rollins.
Is the guy in the bottom of the show here? Is he a new Rollins disciple because his head's so far up Seth Rollins' ass?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'm actually not a huge fan of the Rollins thing.
Every single time we talk about Rollins and Murphy, you have your head so far up their bums.
I want them to develop something with it, but it's been boring. The whole
thing. First and foremost, when it comes to wrestling storylines, and you're going to do something the Messiah, you need to be edgier than just being, I'm what's right for the WWE. I need to make it better.
No, they're edgy as the stare thing, which has been overplayed for 2-3 months now.
You want to know who the fallen angel is? Christopher fucking Daniels.
Which was amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even an XPW with the Messiah. He was goddamn. Come on, this guy pulled a gimmick, and I love this. I still have the T-shirt for it, where the crowd would start chanting "Holy shit," and he'd drop to the ground covering his ears mid-match. And he's in a barbed wire match, and we're saying "Holy shit" because he just put someone through barbed wire, and he's covering his ears. Oh my God! Stop! Do something of that nature play up the religious aspect of it. Get a little more aggressive with the character.
Well, you want to
Don't
go
give us this, oh, I am so perfect, and
You want to go that direction? The person who takes the only way that can work is the person that winds up taking down Rollins. You bring back fucking Mordecai.
oh dear God.
No, I think the way he was talking is, and it's more of a Dark Order type of thing.
Did you
cult
really
leader.
more of a cult leader, but
Yeah.
did you really just reference Mordecai?
Kevin Thorne, yes, I did.
Holy shit. Which you want to mention his Empire gimmick too? I mean,
I did. Thorne. Hello. But
There-
yes, bring
there
back
they had
Mordecai.
They already had hype on him, and
Mordecai
they tried it
was
two
a-
different times and didn't work either time.
Mordecai was a great gimmick given to a shit wrestler.
it was a great gimmick that was overproduced by a writer, a TV writer, then given to a shitty wrestler. No,
'Cause
no,
I was
I mean,
so
the
so-
Mordecai, the idea of Mordecai could have worked. He didn't need to carry the staff out or the cross or whatever the goddamn symbol was. The multi-moon cross bullshit. Fine, you have it on his chest. You didn't need to carry that out every time.
yeah. But I was so over the moon in anticipation of Mordecai versus Undertaker. I was like, this rivalry is going to be so freaking good. And then
Then
we
it
saw
shit the
who was
bed.
playing Mordecai.
Wait, no. And Bruce Pritchard talk, and then the bell.
Then the
rang.
bell rang.
It's just, oh my god. So again, with Rollins and the Disciple, which anyone else realizing that was Bruce Barber Beefcake's name in WCW, the Disciple? Come on. I'm just over the way they need to give it more edge or just drop it.
Yep.
But they've invested so much into it. He's made it his persona.
Yep.
You know, but
It does
Let's
need to
have
be
it-
dropped eventually, though.
let's make him have a hair versus hair match and someone cut his fucking man bun off.
And it's morphed. It's not even one. It's a double man
Two,
bun
yeah,
now.
seriously. So that takes us into Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. This match, now get this. This match went 10 minutes and 5 seconds.
10 minutes and 2 seconds longer than it needed to.
Pretty much. It was a no DQ. They tried, honestly, it looked like both of them had severe ring rust. Like neither of them have been really working in a ring in the past 6 months, it seems
Yeah,
like.
no, nothing.
Which they haven't.
Nothing. They have done
Yeah.
nothing.
So in the booking terms, they're greener than goose shit, and they've been pros for how long now? It just, I know they can both perform better, but it just, the bell rang. That was it. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Mandy Rose has never been that great of a performer. She's just a pretty face.
yeah. I'm not,
if
I'm
you
not
watch,
arguing that.
if you watch her season of Tough Enough, she actually is a halfway decent performer.
She's physical, she's talented, but it's like something happens when the bell rings. She just loses it.
She gets Chris. You'll get this. It's a Duncanism. She gets the tight cheeks.
No, I don't get it.
Okay, Chris Duncan was a radio broadcast.
Yeah.
First of all, he was a St. Louis Cardinal, and then he turned into a radio broadcaster. When somebody gets nervous, they clinch. They get the tight cheeks.
Yeah.
Like he did every time he was at bat?
No, Chris Duncan was actually a good baseball player.
He was not. He was
Yes, he
trash.
was.
They get the
22 home runs in a half a season. Okay.
He was a great radio broadcaster, but not a good baseball player. He would admit to that.
He was a great hitter. He was not a great defender, and he will admit that. He would have admitted that 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. A great left-handed, well, I won't say great, a good left-handed power hitter until he hurt his neck and it sapped his power.
All right, so he get the tight cheeks is nervous, is what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay.
Fair enough.
gets-
I'll
she
give
gets
you
the
that.
tight cheeks.
The camera turns on and they're like, oh.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
red dot comes on and the glutes clench.
Yeah.
Which the
I
fans
can-
love.
Hell yes.
Tight
And
cheeks.
her gear was interesting, that's for sure.
And
The hair thing was weird. The slick back hair.
and Mandy, don't try the worm.
Oh yeah, she did
That
it
wasn't
backwards.
a worm. That was, she didn't move. She just went
It was going backwards.
like It's like, how do you mess that up
The
that
best
bad?
part was the meme I saw the next day where it says, "This is what happens when Mr. Invisible puts you in the walls of Jericho," and it's her paused this way.
She gave herself a scorpion, is what she did.
Yeah.
You know,
That was the seesaw, is what it looked like.
there you go, the seesaw. Oh, good Lord. So, yeah. Sonya Deville's taking some time off. She'll be repackaged later once, this whole thing with this guy going to trial happens, because apparently someone said they're going to finish what he started.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
That's horrible.
Like, this poor woman, I mean, she's at my fight. She'll probably kick the shit out of anyone that tries this on her, but she shouldn't have to put up with this. This is horrible, and I really
Agreed.
feel bad for her.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that she has to leave what she loves doing for a situation like this. So I think I speak for all of us when I say we wish you all the best and hope you come back soon and in a better place than you're at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, I mean, I wouldn't wish this on my worst mortal enemy.
Not at all. That was just if you haven't read it, go read it. The accounts of what happened, it's horrifying. Mandy Rose was even in the house. She was staying with her, so by all means, it's one of the worst things I've read about happening to a celebrity in a long time. So, Godspeed. Anyhow, so this takes us into the sixth match tonight, which was Asuka and Sasha Banks with Bayley in her corner for the Raw SmackDown title, or the Raw Women's title.
Well, and let's start this off by bringing up an interesting fact. Sasha Banks has never, I repeat, never successfully defended a title.
She's 0-5 for defenses. Yeah, that's true. For an actual singles title, the tag title, she's defended successfully.
Right. But the singles women's title, she has never, ever, in the history of Everdom, successfully defended that title.
Yeah, that's
I think
got to be a sting.
I think
Yep,
the other sting for it is I think she's only won them on Raws too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
never won them on like a
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view. Yeah.
It's only been on regular televised TV shows.
Yeah.
But I
This
love the
was-
fact that she sold the fact that she was like towards the end of the match, she's like, I can't do it. I can't beat her. Oh no, I'm gonna die. I love
the
that.
match wasn't horrible. It played the storyline really well. It played out exactly as I predicted.
Just
Digging.
digging.
Yep. I'm gonna shove that down your throat so far, Steve, just so I can prove a point.
Oh man.
You have to talk if you want people to see what you're doing, buddy.
I don't. I only want it to be for
Have
you.
some balls, Steve. Have some balls.
You done pissed off YouTube.
Oh, good Lord. So,
Has YouTube ever demonetized a non-monetized channel yet?
yes,
Well,
they take away your ability to sign up for it.
Damn, I was hoping, we were going to be the first ever.
Damn.
Damn.
Ron, what? The match wasn't bad, but like I said, I predicted that Bayley really wouldn't help her.
Yeah, you're talking up your one win. How about we talk up your losses there, homie?
Hey, on SummerSlam, I had 4 of 8, not 1 of 5. So chill, calm yourself.
Calm your tits there, pal.
Chris and I are tied on SummerSlam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And might I add, get over your shit, because I'm the only one that called this one right.
It's because it shouldn't have happened.
It's because it's called logic in booking. It's
Mine
called ring
was
psychology.
Mine
It's
was
called ring psychology for a longer storyline.
mine is storyline psychology, which is better entertainment.
Yours is a quicker fuse. They're doing a long burn here. Come on. Who is in charge of SmackDown? They're going for the long burn. They're trying to get a bigger story out of it to last because they have less available wrestlers currently.
Yeah, and you know
Whatever
why
you wanna
mine's
call
a
it.
shorter burn? Because we don't want to deal with this crap anymore.
Okay, so who would you put the SmackDown Women's title on besides Asuka and Bayley and Sasha that's currently on the main roster available?
Nikki Cross.
They won't do it.
Alexa Bliss.
You asked who
Okay.
I would put it on.
Okay, Alexa Bliss I could back up. That would be a good one.
Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail. Yes, please.
Amen. Okay, we agree.
Nia Jax or Shayna Baszler could also take it as well.
What are you smoking, Chris?
If they do it, they're doing it on Raw. They're not going to.
Yeah, they're going on Raw. They're going to do it.
You said any main show. That's if you're saying.
But we're talking about the SmackDown Women's title.
Okay, then Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss is Sister Abigail. Yes, please. I think we're on for it.
Just ask me what you'd like me to do, and I'll try my best to help.
Okay, go away.
All right, so
I've actually told my Google Assistant to go away, and it said, "Okay, I'll leave you alone."
Nice.
But that match was 11 minutes and 25 seconds. It wasn't a horrible match. Wasn't a great match. It was a match.
How long?
I mean, it served its purpose.
So the next match you're going to talk about, how it was Dominic and Rollins, right?
Yeah.
How long was that match? Because that seemed very long.
22 minutes and 35 seconds. It was the longest match on the card.
Yeah, I knew it was long.
It was literally the longest match on the event. So, since you already brought it up, let's go into it. It's Seth Rollins with Murphy and Dominic Mysterio with Ray. There were some
Angie.
things about
Don't forget about Angie.
Yeah, don't forget Mom. Don't forget, because Mommy had to drop him off at school.
And how much do you want to bet they do not have the mask hoodie anymore? Because he was just messing with that the entire night.
That was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, they should have just put him in a mask if they were going to do it.
Well, and that's the thing. I when I saw it, I was like,
even if it was just a mask that he came out to the ring with and then took off.
Or, like I said,
or put it on like when he got into the ring.
Right. Yeah. You get into the ring, or you get at the top of the top of the ramp. You flip it up and you zip it closed to be a mask.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do the whole time.
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, this is actually going to be a cool variation of a mask.
Yeah.
And
no, it's just a hood.
The whole thing is they weren't going to let him fully take the gear off because I guarantee you Vince doesn't like how his upper body looks.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, considering his gear was Sub-Zero themed, Glacier themed.
I would say Ray. That's Ray Lloyd, friend of DDP Yoga.
I'm not saying anything against it. I just say the gear was reminiscent to it. I did like how Seth was wearing the gear that looked like
Rey Mysterio's Halloween Havoc gear.
Yeah, I love that. Those based on the Phantom. I thought that was really cool that he played on that. It was entertaining. It added a level to it that I actually enjoyed. The match, as far as a street fight, wasn't that bad. They could have done a lot more. But I'm sorry, is it a street fight, no DQ? So how is it that Ray is standing there and he can't do anything about it?
Because
Dominic told him not to.
Doesn't mean he physically can't. It means he's spiritually not doing it. He's honoring his son. I get the story, but the way that they're playing up, he can't do anything about it. Yes, he can. There's no DQ. He could get in there and beat the shit out of him, and not.
Which he eventually did. He eventually jumped in. He couldn't take it anymore.
And in a street fight, why take 10 minutes before you bring the first weapon out?
Yeah, that was the other thing. It took too long for them to get the toys out. I think what it was, honestly, if I'm in that shoes, in the shoes of booking that match, you have Dominic Mysterio, the son of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, who's been training since he was a little kid, who can probably really wrestle and put some, talent into the mat. You want to see what he can do in a match. You don't want to just, his first official match on, pay-per-view, let's just have him beat the shit out of each other with weapons. I think that would ruin the mystique of who he is a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I can see where you're coming from as far as that goes. But you're going to book it that way. Bring the toys out. Not immediately, but you can't wait.
Pretty quick, yeah. Pretty damn quick, I agree.
And Dom, work on your frog splash, homie. That was not good looking.
Your biological father would be depressed.
Dominic, I am your puppy.
I love how they kept mentioning that kind of stuff. Corey Graves, like, his real father would not be appreciative of that,
Oh, wow.
It's cool how they play those old storylines. It was funny. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
And then you look back and you see Dominic as a wee little lad with bleach blonde
hair. I was like, what the hell is It's like he grew 4 feet, you know?
It was when Eminem was popular. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's like, Ray, don't let your son play with the hydrogen peroxide.
Oops, he fell in it. So, and he took a beating with the kendo stick again. I mean, it really felt like a little bit of a hazing. Not as bad as the Raw hazing, but another little bit of a hazing there.
Yeah. It was a pretty good match, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But again, it was the longest match on the card.
I had really, really low expectations for this match. I did like how they were playing it up with Angie, her coming out and acting like she was going to maybe get involved. Then Ray finally gets involved. That would have been handcuffs Ray.
That would have been the swerve of swerves, is having Angie side with Rollins and
oh my God!
I thought they were going to swerve me many times.
Ray, this is really Dominic's father.
that is totally Attitude Era stuff right there. So if we were in the Attitude Era, we could totally see that coming, but not nowadays.
But yeah, she came out. I'm like, she's going with Rollins. She's going to side with Seth Rollins.
I thought that for a while. I thought once Ray was handcuffed and Rollins gave Dominic the key, that Dominic was going to turn on Ray because he was mad that Ray got involved in the match.
I'm waiting for the split up so they can have some incredible father-son matches. I think that's where it's all going to end up, honestly. But I was okay with it, but it was still a little underwhelming for what it was.
Yeah, so it was disappointing, but it was a lot of that whole excitement. It was like the excitement hype of like, oh, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Even though it didn't happen, I didn't mind it all because at least piqued my interest.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those matches you're so hyped up about that it can't live up to the expectations you've given it. But it's one of those after it's done, you're just like, okay, I mean, it still wasn't bad.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, so this takes us into the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton.
You are going to get the wildlife people all over us.
Yes, I am. World Wildlife Fund, bring it.
Wow, Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Don't make me cover you in sardine oil.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
All right, so this match actually went 20 minutes and 35 seconds. This is the second longest match on the card. And,
which match was this again?
McIntyre versus Orton.
Okay, I'm sorry. Friggin' Nobles over here took us to Netflix territory.
Carol Baskin.
A little bit. You took us to World Wildlife, so I had to go Carol Baskin on you.
And here, I'll take you to the next step. What about Johnny Swinger? Because that's a gimmick he's playing up now.
Oh, goodness. Impact doesn't matter.
Not today, it doesn't. All right, so this match, actually, they swerved us pretty good. It was actually an entertaining match. We all picked Orton to come away with the title. We got no interference from Flair, as we all thought was going to happen. You had him, the fight was pretty good. I mean, it was a Falls Count Anywhere. I'll tell you who didn't like this match.
Falls Count Anywhere was Braun.
Oh, sorry, that was Braun. No, but I'll tell you who didn't like both those matches anyways. You're not going to make a guess? He likes double cheeseburgers.
Oh, Cornette.
Jim Cornette bashed on both of these matches so hard.
That's because Cornette's senile.
I'll mention when we get into the next match, but this
Cornette
match,
thinks he's in 1984 and he's still running Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
He thinks he's working in Memphis.
This is how we do it in Memphis, motherfucker.
Thank you, Bruce and Conrad, for all the wonderful times. You get me through my 8-hour day at work a lot.
Because he's a heel, motherfucker.
Chris is like, what the fuck is going on?
Chris, we convinced Larry to start watching Ms. and Mrs. You need to start listening to something to wrestle with.
Possibly, maybe.
You need to. You'll enjoy it. It's hilarious. I highly recommend it.
I trust you guys.
But 90% of the reason it's hilarious is all Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad's freaking hilarious. Although Bruce's voices are just, come on.
Bruce Bruce plays off Conrad really well.
Who would have thought that Bruce Pritchard could do that many voices?
Well, goddamn, pal.
He could. I mean, dude, just listen to it because I'm not even gonna do it justice. Anyhow, so back into the match, you have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Decent match. Wasn't the best match I've seen these two do.
No.
And you had a little bit of a swerve. Like we all anticipated Orton winning, but McIntyre retains, which cool. I see them finding a way to put the title on Orton later.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I don't mind that there was a swerve. I just thought it was a really weird swerve. You're having a face do a heel sneaky move swerve type of thing. I don't know. It was the whole, okay, I'm going to Claymore kick you. No, I'm going to RKO you. No, I'm going to duck, and now you're going to try punting me, and I'm going to turn it into a backslide.
Yeah, that finish was weird. How you going to...
It was all the finishers all in one, and then a backslide.
And he did he hit a Claymore? I don't remember.
No, he missed the Claymore. Randy missed the RKO. Then the Claymore was missed. Then the punt was missed, and then a backslide. So
that's that match. It really wasn't that.
So would you have been happier if it was a victory roll or a schoolboy?
No, any of those types of finishes.
Because you're just like a backslide. Well,
it was a
because it's such a
your pussy is getting out of hand.
Good God.
Because the backslide is never a. I mean, yeah, victory roll is a lot more of a pin nowadays, but a backslide is easy to kick out of.
The backslide, it was a sloppy one, first of all.
Yeah, because it was really slow. It felt like Orton was sitting there forever, just because the ref was lackluster on the count.
Had he gone ahead and done, a razor's edge, a crucifix powerbomb, something, and then pinned him after, that would have made more sense. But he just, that was it. It was kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. If the only way I feel they could have swerved us with this is if Randy went too far and got himself disqualified, would have made a lot more sense than, I'll say it again, a backslide. Because it's keeping up with Steve.
So what you wanted was Orton to get himself disqualified and then act like he's talking to Kofi, but he's talking to himself. Stupid.
Well, what I wanted was Randy to win, but if they're going to swerve us to have McIntyre to win, it's by disqualification.
DQ would have been better than backslide. Next T-shirt: Steve loves backslide.
And then back it says Chris hates backslides.
Hashtag backslide.
No, what that got me thinking about was Daniel Bryan when he was saying he was the king of the small package.
Oh wow.
He utilized this, and then it got my mind thinking of Corey Graves when I can't even do it when Drake Maverick won the 24/7. He used a small package.
He used a small package. Wow.
He utilized the small package.
Good Lord. So this takes us into the main event of the night, which was The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman, your champion, your Universal Champion, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This was a 12-minute match. The entrances were longer than match.
Well, because The Fiend is now the new Undertaker.
Yeah, well, that's what they were trying to do with Bray Wyatt for years, and it took them this long.
Yeah.
So just to tell you, this is what Cornette said about this match. He would rather go get a proctology exam from the guy that pumps his septic tank than watch this match.
This match was good. I don't know what he's talking about. I enjoyed this match.
Enjoyed the match, but that's how much Cornette did not like it.
You know what? You know what that tells me? Cornette's not a fan of Roman Reigns.
Cornette's not a fan of Bray or Braun at all. He said,
I know that.
What?
But
he said, you know why Andre and Abdullah didn't go 30 minutes? Because they couldn't. That's what he's comparing them.
But these guys didn't go 30 minutes. They went
12 minutes. 12 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Bruce said, you guys got 12 minutes. Okay. To the dot.
You better not. You better not go 1 second over. Okay, boss.
12 minutes seems fine for these guys, and it felt like a fine match.
It
Wasn't slow at all. I didn't feel.
No, I enjoyed the match. It was, for being Falls Count Anywhere. It didn't go too crazy, but it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Braun got a little out of it and tore the mat up to expose the wood.
That was cool.
Stuff like that. I don't like that they didn't bring Alexa Bliss into it. I really think
that
they
was
should have
weird.
done that.
Yeah.
That was
And
weird.
she was pretty damn pissed about it too. She tweets a
Just because they were building it up so much that she was going to be involved, and then nothing.
Well, on SmackDown they teased a little bit more of it. So
yeah, let's not get into SmackDown.
I'm not. I just said they just teased a little bit. That's all.
I was going to say I still have to watch all of this week's content tomorrow.
You've got like 14 hours of wrestling to watch, brother.
Jeez,
no, I
man.
don't, because I don't watch Impact.
Yeah, it's a subtle tease, but it's like, okay, good. She's still in the storyline. That's all I want.
There's little bits that they might continue it later. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed this match, even with the surprise finish. It didn't piss me off because it could have been something worse, as we all predicted it would be. It wasn't Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, thank God.
Just as bad as Brock Lesnar in some cases. And the fact that I told you Vince had asked Roman Reigns to get jacked to be the Brock Lesnar of SmackDown.
Oh, and the other thing, now that we've finally gotten to that point, Roman Reigns returned. Now go away.
It was fine. I didn't hate it.
Go away. Nobody likes you.
He's going to lead Retribution.
Go away.
They're saying this is going to be a full heel turn of Roman.
Okay, Roman as a heel I can do. I'm just so sick of the Roman we've had the last 4 or 5 years.
He is playing the whole heel role right now.
Yeah. He went to the big papers.
All right, Mr. Ed.
Well, I mean, come on. Cesaro can pull it off because he puts a mouth guard in.
And Randy Orton's troll level of Roman Reigns was
God.
1,000.
That was amazing.
Brian from Family Guy and Mr. Ed. So good.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious. When I saw it, I was like, you got to be shitting me.
I was like, yes, thank you, Randy Keith Orton.
So, the Fiend gets the pin out of nowhere. And granted, the crowd's not there screaming because they're in the Thunderdome. And I didn't mind the Thunderdome for, it actually was pretty cool. It gives a better mystique. They did a good job of bringing in audience sound because they're piping in audience sound from other events. So you're getting the cheers, you're getting the boos. It's giving it a bigger feel, and it felt good.
But the company
better with it.
Is getting backlash because apparently there was some Klan paraphernalia.
That was on Raw.
Yeah.
And there was like 4 or 5 times where Chris Benoit was on TV.
There was also someone holding a sign MJF 2020. That was entertaining, I thought.
Vince said he got it resolved, though, but we'll see.
So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these are things they're going to have to deal with.
Exactly.
It's a new technology. Yep. It's something new. They handled it classy. They didn't just get angry. They didn't say, "Oh, we're ending it because of it." No, they said, "Okay, it takes adjustment. We'll fix it." And that's what they're doing. But the fact that Roman Reigns was able to make the surprise entrance through the arena without the crowd reacting is, I think, what made it better because there's no crowd to react.
Yeah.
And you really lost. With the Thunderdome, I'm really losing the fact of no audience. It's really helping eliminate that, and I think that's even coming forward in the product because the wrestlers are starting to perform better because they're getting that feel that there's a crowd watching.
Yeah, it's easing us out of Rona wrestling.
Yes,
Endemic wrestling is on the way out. There you go. Had to get that 7th in there, right?
7.
7. But yeah, the match, I enjoyed it. Even, like I said, even with what we never saw coming happening, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Am I looking forward to Payback's main event?
I'm scared about Payback's main event, but yeah.
They just need to do what his T-shirt says: wreck everyone and leave.
Like I said, go away.
Not permanently. He's got, like I said, he's going to be ruling this faction. He's going to be running Retribution. So and that's honestly the way it's feeling. That's how I see it going. Now, they could swerve completely, especially with all the rumor mill going about what Retribution is. They could swerve that another way because they haven't decided anything, obviously.
Yeah. All I gotta say is thank God it's not Ciampa.
That we
Agreed.
know of. They could still swerve us.
No, it's not Ciampa. Nope, no way.
Chris is sitting at home praying, please God, don't.
Oh no! When they announced it on NXT Takeover and they said he's gonna be on Wednesday night on NXT, I'm like, he's not on Retribution. He's come back and he's gonna make a run.
But
he's gonna do.
Retribution could come attack
Retribution has
NXT.
never attacked NXT.
He's making a run. He's actually taking
Yeah,
the title, so just don't worry
well,
about it, guys.
Again, you're looking at it. Retribution has never attacked NXT, and the reason for that is because the leader of Retribution is in NXT.
Or
Steve's got
Roman
his thinking
Reigns.
cap on here. Steve's got his thinking cap on here. That's a good thought. And when we get into tomorrow's episode, we'll touch more on this. There's some more things popping up that will give us some more clues into things. But overall, what are your thoughts on the two pay-per-views?
I actually think, because usually I'll say 99.99998% of the time, takeovers outperform the main roster pay-per-view.
yeah,
And I think worst case scenario, these two pay-per-views were completely even.
hey, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I said, hey,
So
it's a push, it's a tie.
So I'm gonna be probably the only one that doesn't agree with that, because after everything I've read on them and the way some of the matches in Takeover 30 left me feeling a little flat, I'm kind of leaning towards SummerSlam being the better show.
Well, like I said worst case scenario, they were even. Best case scenario, yeah, SummerSlam actually outperformed NXT, but at worst, they were even.
So all in all, it was a good weekend of wrestling. It was entertaining. It wasn't boring to watch. I only fell asleep for one match, and that was on Takeover.
I think that SummerSlam would have been much better if they would have started it off much better. I felt like the beginning of it was very, very flat. Like the first 3-4 matches were all flat.
Well, yeah, you didn't get your big storylines until the last half of the pay-per-view anyway. So the
Right,
last
and
four matches.
for that being a big, and for it being a big four pay-per-view, that is kind of disappointing, because usually the big fours are action-packed, impactful important matches
Beginning
from
to
start to
end,
finish.
Mhm.
From start
What
to finish.
amazes me is the differences in times. Because, I mean, obviously Apollo Crews was on the kickoff show. You'd think they would have given them more time for the kickoff show.
Mhm.
And 6 minutes, that's kind of shitty. But the tag match only got 7 minutes 50 seconds, where the two Asuka matches were 11 minutes. They were 10 seconds apart. There's 11:35 for the one for Bailey and 11:25 for the Sasha one. So you had the
Becky and Charlotte aren't around right now, so I feel like they're just not really focusing on the women's division.
which is sad, because they still have talented women. They do.
I agree.
It's-
Yeah.
They have to find something else to do with them. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, they actually had a pretty good old school style wrestling match. But it had some weird stuff happening. Like I said, they both missed their finishes so often, and then, finished with that goddamn backslide.
Yeah, the backslide.
I mean, it sounds like, a move in a gay porno. But
Steve's beating us out.
No, I just read something I don't think I really like.
Oh, you spoiled yourself.
No, I did not. I did not
Okay.
click the story that was going to spoil myself. I was scrolling down WrestleFeed.
Spoil myself.
I was scrolling down WrestleFeed's news feed, and it's something with Finn Balor, and yeah, I don't like it.
Oh.
well, maybe when you're doing these shows, you shouldn't do that, so you don't get those disappointing moments. Because then we get grumpy, Steve.
Yeah. Well, at least the show's over.
Come on,
pissed.
give us a smile.
Oh man.
He just wants to go shower.
Okay,
he's all dirty from softball.
We can't see it.
Can't see it, bro.
No.
No. Well, it says we may never see Finn Balor's Demon King gimmick ever again.
Yeah, I knew that was happening. I
Could
was
see that, yeah.
And the fact that he hasn't brought it out
Very
since he's been out
upset.
at NXT. Since it hasn't happened since he's been back at NXT and he's been playing up the Prince Devitt-esque version of
Yeah.
himself,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't anticipate the Demon coming back anytime
Yeah,
soon.
but when he was the Prince, he still brought out the Demon when he needed to.
But that was in New Japan.
That's fine. What works in New Japan works in the States.
Until Vince killed it on Raw.
Guess what? He's not on Raw anymore.
No, but the memories you had of the Demon are on Raw now.
No, they're
I
not.
mean-
The memories I have of the Demon are in NXT.
Plenty of them are, like the stuff in Tokyo, when he did the Jack the Ripper. He had plenty of good ones. I'll give you that. But it's been so long since we've seen it, it's not needed at this point. He doesn't have anyone he's feuding with that he could need to be the Demon.
Good point.
You know who he needed the Demon against? The Fiend. Demon versus Fiend would have been perfect.
That would have been beautiful.
Demon versus Brock. That would have made sense. But at this point, when he's going against Thatcher, he doesn't need to be the Demon to destroy Thatcher.
I didn't say he needed to be the Demon to destroy Thatcher.
So what are you being mad about? It's just right now. If he gets called back up, the Demon's coming back. Chill.
No, did you not hear the headline? We
Who
might
wrote it?
never
Who wrote
see
the story?
Finn Balor's Demon King gimmick ever
Big word. Might.
Okay,
again.
Steve, who wrote the article?
Fuck, I don't know.
But it said might.
Yeah, look for keywords and the byline. Who was and what website's it from?
Oh, according to Tom Calahoo.
You know, really good.
And what website is this?
This is like according to Chris Nobles.
No, this is. I get a lot of my stuff from oldschoolwwf.com, and this is their app.
You may as well be reading Meltzer, bro.
No, this is far more reliable than Meltzer's bullshit.
Or Brian Alvarez. I mean, Jesus.
The only thing Alvarez is good for is giving me the fucking ratings on
The
Twitter.
ratings. The Wednesday night ratings. Wow, we're just burying the whole dirt sheet community.
That is the only reason I still follow Brian Alvarez on Twitter.
Oh, good God. Dude, you just need to chill. It's clickbait. They're trying to get their hits up.
It is not clickbait.
Finn pretty much owns the Demon persona.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
that's-
going to let it be destroyed.
And that's who they're saying Balor's not interested in doing it.
Not right now.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right time. It can be overused.
Yep.
Just like The Fiend doesn't come out every time Bray's on TV. He's done
Yeah, see,
pay-per-views
Finn-
as Bray.
Finn Balor does not want the Demon King.
And who interviewed Finn Balor? Who actually sat down and interviewed? Do you have evidence of who spoke to him? No, you don't. You have a dirt sheet writer
Tom
who's putting his
Colicchio.
opinion on it, and you're taking it for verbatim as holy writ. Chill, bro. It's wrestling. It's not that serious.
Pisses me off is what it does.
All right. Well, that's the show, everybody.
Wow, this actually made for some entertaining podcasting.
I was gonna say, y'all love when I get pissed off, so why the fuck are you rapping on me when I give you what you want?
Yes, we do love when you get pissed off.
Yeah, that should be in the mail to me already. Thank you very much.
Nope, not yet. Not yet. Love it. You
You got to pick
Since
Roman
we-
Reigns at Payback, man.
Bullshit.
You got to pick him,
You
or you're
better
gonna lose.
pick
You're
him.
not gonna get that title because I'm picking him. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
it seems obvious.
I am not
I'm-
picking Roman Reigns. Fuck
I am the
Roman
biggest
Reigns.
fiend
You get-
fan in
you
the
ain't get
world,
that
and
title.
I'm gonna pick Roman Reigns in this situation.
You shouldn't even be in consideration for draft picks this week because you're gone. You're out. You lost.
Tough titty. I was telling you we shouldn't have done it until the belt to begin with.
How many total picks did you get right for both shows?
Out of both shows, 5,
And how many did me and Chris get right total for both shows?
8.
Eight.
So you lost by 3. This is a one-on-one match to see who gets the
Okay.
belt payback.
Negative. It's a new match.
No, it's not. It is a
Yes, it is.
continuation
It's a new
because
match.
it's tied.
No, it's a new match. It's a what's they call it? It's a no contest.
Bullshit. It is not a no contest because you're making it a no contest because you lost.
No,
Yes.
there's no definitive winner.
There.
Are
Yeah.
you guys
So
going to be co-champions? Am I going to cut it in half? You going to be late cool of our podcast?
no, that's the entire thing. Is the tiebreaker between me and him is Payback, and you're weaseling your way into the fucking tiebreaker.
And again, at the same time, I did not want to do this until Payback because we didn't have the belt yet.
Weaseling your way into a tiebreaker that you have no business being in.
Chill, bro. Chill.
Honestly, it's probably not going to matter, and somebody's going to lose it again on All Out. So,
And if you want to be in this, that's fine. But you got 3 to make up. You're already 3 in the hole.
No, it's counting new numbers.
No.
Yes.
If we're continuing it on,
We're
you
not
got 3 to make
continuing.
up.
We're not continuing. We're starting fresh. It's a fresh pay-per-view.
How can you start fresh when the last one never had a finish?
No contest.
There's no
What are the rules of no
definitive
contest.
winner.
The match is over. You go to a new match. They don't pause the match. Okay, it's been a no contest.
Shit, I
Let's
should have
go
got
start
my.
a new match.
I should have just got my bonus points. God damn it, Brock Lesnar, why didn't you show up? Because Steve even told me you get bonus points if Brock Lesnar shows up. I was damn close, okay?
And at that point, there would have been a definitive winner, and I did ship it to Chris.
Yeah, I would have agreed with that. If Chris would have predicted Brock Lesnar and he showed up, I would say he would have won flat out.
But no, this needs to be a tiebreaker between me and Chris because it's only 1 week after the original bet, and you're weaseling your way into a tiebreaker.
Negative.
What do you think, Chris?
I agree with Steve, but we'll see Larry lose again.
Drops mic, walks the fuck off.
But you're still talking. So.
Or we could take off the pre-show and then I win, but we're not going to get into all that again.
Either way, in that situation, Larry loses.
Yeah.
I have no problem with being the fact that I lost a bet. That's not a problem. I'm the one that went ahead and had it made. I'm the one that went and got it done.
It's true. It's true.
I'm not worried about who wins and loses. This is about promotion for us.
I do
this
think
is about us doing
Chris,
something better.
you realize this is going to be an every pay-per-view thing when he loses, right?
I do think this though. I think we need to wait. I think we need to wait to ship it though because of All Out.
Then it's never going to get shipped.
What, you
Sure
said
it is.
Larry's going to win All Out? No.
No.
He won't win.
Because there's always going to be a pay-per-view that's like a week after the one we just covered, and it's like, well, we might.
Not with AEW, but it just happened this way. I don't know. What's the next pay-per-view after AEW's thing? Night of Champions?
Yeah, and that's like the first week of October.
So somebody will have it for a month.
If UPS doesn't lose it.
Why would you even say that?
And I didn't mean UPS, I meant USPS. I trust
Everybody's
you.
going UPS.
That's too
saying, I
heavy
trust
for
UPS.
USPS. Yeah, that's too heavy for USPS.
Flat rate box that bitch.
No, it needs to be insured, my friend. Insurance. I'm going to make you guys pay deposits on this thing like Claire used to pay on the big gold.
Honestly, what I think is last place should be the one paying for the shipping.
I like that idea.
I'd be down with that. Loser pays shipping.
And you got to be last. The guy in the middle, he doesn't get anything, and the guy at top gets the title. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
down
guy in the
with that.
middle's like, hey, at least I didn't suck.
yeah,
It's like the league. It's winning the Sacco.
Yeah, you've got a top prize and you've got a biggest.
And
loser
look,
prize.
I don't mind be the one if I lose. I'm just thinking, start fresh. We just got the title. Start fresh.
Your whole start fresh gimmick is because you lost.
I don't like start fresh on Payback. I think that's stupid. If we're gonna
So
start
you
fresh,
want
we
to hold
start
off
fresh.
and start fresh on All Out?
If we're gonna start
No,
fresh,
he wants a winner between me and him.
I'm okay with the winner between me and him. But if you wanted to do the whole start fresh, it's All Out, not Payback. That's a horrible way to do it.
Again, it's just Larry trying to weasel his way back.
I'm just going to say this. Like, who's going to be the first title holder because they won Payback? That sounds horrible.
That's like Jericho being the first undisputed champion at Vengeance.
But that's one of the best wrestlers of all time, so don't shit on him.
Not shitting on him, I'm shitting on the event.
Hey, that was the event where he beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same damn night, okay?
But
the event was badass.
I get what Larry's saying. It's the name of the pay-per-view. Like, it should have been like a SummerSlam or something like that, you know?
It was basically an in your house.
Yep.
And they could have called the event WWF Presents Undisputed. They're naming the Undisputed Champion. They should have called it Undisputed instead of Vengeance. And he got the title with an asterisk because, you know, who came in and helped him?
Nobody remembers that, and nobody gives a shit.
I remember it.
I actually don't remember.
See?
5 time.
Oh my God, really?
See, again, nobody remembers it. Nobody gives a shit.
All right, you gonna sign us off, Steve?
And
I think we're good.
I'll
Pugsley
introduce
first.
you to the Pug. Here's Pugsley. Everyone say hi to Pugsley.
He doesn't even want to look at us. He's like, screw these people.
No.
He's my 9-week-old pug. I would have named him something to do with the show, but, you know.
It's like, what are these people bitching about? I want to go back and eat my food.
He's been chewing on my feet all night, so.
Or chewing on Larry's feet.
Yeah, well, you know, people don't. Not everything has fine food taste. So
Make a joke right now, Steve, but
you'll offend a community of people who love feet.
no, I'd probably offend your family.
Ooh, dark.
Okay, well, this just got awkward.
On that note.
See, we have the same sense of humor, and Chris is just like, what the fuck?
Because I'm like, shit, I've been trying to sign off for 10 minutes now.
Oh, good
All
Lord.
right. Tomorrow, which it won't make a difference to you because I'm sure these episodes are going to wind up being uploaded at pretty much the same time. But we will go over the regular show, the more traditional format, going over this week in professional wrestling. And
Which is going to be a big week because we've got AEW from last week and this week. We've got Impact from last week and this week. AEW Dark from last week and this week.
No, we don't have to do that.
Yes, we
got to run through the.
All right, I want a speed run on those ones.
We got to do.
That's how it's set up.
That's how it always is. I was gonna say it's just
Come on.
predictions and who got 100% right and who missed one.
No.
Usually-
That's for dark. But I'm talking about. I don't want.
No, that's what we're talking about is dark.
I want
Okay,
no
don't
in-depth
worry.
wrestle house. No in-depth wrestle house. I want just the matches. Who won? It's over. I want AEW. The matches. Who won? It's over. And then we can do reactions after Wednesday.
He is just shitting all over Impact's pay-per-view.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. You got to remember, Chris, for it being their two-part pay-per-view on TV, it could have been condensed into one Impact.
Yes, I read the first part. I didn't read.
And
read
it
the
probably
second
would have
part.
been a shitty Impact.
It was 2 shitty Impacts at that point, but let's get into that tomorrow.
All right, guys. Until we reconvene, later.
Thank you very much for listening to the Honest Wrestling Review Network. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. And as always, you can find us on our various social media outlets. Search us on Facebook at Honest Wrestling Review. You can also find us on Twitter at HW Review Pod. And you can find us on Instagram at _HWR_network. If you have any ideas for a show or recommendations for a topic, please feel free to send us to us on those various social media outlets. Thank you very much for listening.